Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7th Sea. My name is Dan McCurdy. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok or YouTube, and I will be the storyteller this evening, and I will allow my lovely players to introduce themselves, starting with Jeremiah.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah McCoy, aka Basics of the Game, and I'm playing Mykolas Kelvan. And I'm sure there's no problem whatsoever.
Hello, my name is Natalie, also known as Gizmos Aplenty across many platforms, and tonight I am playing Leonora Orsini, the Sorte Strega.
Hello, I am Wolfgar. You can find me at Reaper Wolfgar on everywhere you need to find me. And I am playing Fr Rafael Rodriguez, the priest with absolutely nothing at all to worry about.
Hello, I'm Carl, aka Lakar, the Artificer on TikTok and other socials. And tonight I am playing Umberto Vitale, Vodacian Liberator.
All right, we are now in episode 2 of Blood, Fate, and Fortune. In our previous episode, we had a chance to see various members of our party get up into all sorts of trouble and problems and various things, and then come together for a moment of peace, quiet, dancing. The dancing got less peaceful. The dancing got less quiet. And Mykolas Kelvan, who had told Leonora Orsini to never ask him to dance, instead asked her to dance, and they had a bit of a conversation afterwards where they talked a little bit about why in his pact, in his role as a Senderis sorcerer, but he is, as he often says, just a soldier. And now, pa-rum-pa-pa-pum, pa-rum-pa-pa-pum, pa-rum-pa-pa-pum. The endless drums of war served only as punctuation for the thunder of cannon, the clash of steel, and the screams of dying men. The air was hot, though what foliage remained on the trees spoke only of very early spring. Battles were always hot, no matter where they were fought. Mykolas, like every night for longer than you can remember, you walk the charnel fields of war. Sometimes you recognize a battlefield, others you do not. Sometimes you lose yourself in the memory, fighting old battles as yourself or as another soldier. One night, you dreamt as a Usuran soldier and felt the heat drain from your body as a young Mykolas Kelvan drove his bayonet into your heart. This night, it is not like that, and you walk through the battle untouched and unnoticed as it rallies around you. You do not recognize the battlefield, but you can make some educated guesses. The size of the field and what remains of the scorched farmland indicate a battle held in Montaigne. The banners that fly tell the same story, or seem to, but they are somewhat scattered, making little sense. The fleur-de-lis of Montaigne flies prominently, but alongside it flies the black and red banner of the Vaticine Inquisition, who have vehemently opposed the Montagnian monarchy since l'Empereur disavowed the faith. Opposite them, they fly scattered flags, mostly minor nobility, indicating a rebellion of some sorts, but also another pair of Vaticine banners, one of them black slashed with blue, and the other black slashed with purple. Besides you walks Rona, her eyes looking all around her, like a supervisor vaguely approving of the work of her underlings. At first glance, she is beautiful, but the longer you look, the more alien she seems. Her arms, legs, and fingers too long, eyes too big, ears swept back and pointed, her hair long, wavy, and an almost ethereal white that sways in an absent breeze. Standing nearly 2 feet taller than you and carrying a sword, with one blade flickering with hot flames and the other dripping the frost of frigid ice, she is both familiar and alien, stunning and terrifying, beautiful and deadly. She looks to you, her expression one you recognize as curious. Was this one of yours, soldier?
No, I've never fought in Montaigne.
Seems to be a particularly bitter fight. Mostly Montagnans in the field.
They're good. at what they do?
They are. I see the various noble houses, some aligned with the fleur-de-lis, others against it. Civil war, brother against brother, nasty business.
Why do you show me this?
I don't. I am a passenger here as much as you.
I've never fought them. I've never been to, well, I passed through Montaigne, but I've never fought in their wars. It's a tragedy no matter where it is, I suppose.
Tragedy, yes, but also glory, freedom, causes. Look at them, the way they fight. Many of them are just regimented soldiers, but they believe in what they're doing. You can see it in their anger and their drive.
They always believe. That's the point. You line people up, tell them to fight for a flag. They have to believe in something, even if it's the person next to them.
What did you believe in when you were a soldier?
That I could protect them.
And you did.
And it cost me everything.
But provided more, yes. One life ends, another begins. That is the way of things. Your fate witch could tell you that.
So much of what I worked for is gone. Now I'm trying to just survive. Help them survive. Just one fight after another, running from every thing that would kill us.
Isn't that the way of war, though? You fight for a thing that you cannot possess, even if you save it.
But in the war, I have a nation that stands behind me. It's just us.
What is a nation? And as she says that, you get a sense of curiosity, as if she's really asking and not poking at you.
A nation is a people.
Your little band, are they also a people?
They're my company.
Fellow soldiers. I think I might understand. I've been doing this a long time, Mykolas. There's always a different reason for the soldier to fight. Sometimes it's a people, but they call it different things. Tribes, brotherhoods.
Family.
Often that one.
I never had one. I just had the army.
Suddenly, Rona's eyes narrow. The scene around you seems to drain of color, beginning with the blue of the sky until all that remains is the rusted red of blood mixed with fertile soil. She turns to you, ignoring the collapsing scene around her. There is danger, Mykolas. Something in the inn, something new. She never lies, not once in all of the time you have dealt with her. So what she says is true, and has her frightened to simply gift the knowledge rather than bargaining for it. Her sword rises in the air before you can think to react. It slashes towards you. Wake up! You awaken in your bed in the Horsehead Tavern, in a room you share with Umberto and Rafael. So far, everyone else seems to still be asleep. But in the back of your head, Rona almost vibrates with anticipation, and unless you miss your guess, fear. But also, there is the rumbling, always the rumbling. Pa-rum-pa-pa-pum. 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 You are awake, the only one in the room at the moment. What do you do?
He shakes his head for a moment, grabs a pistol, walks to the door, checks the hallway.
Doesn't seem to be anything in the hallway. And you step out fully, and it's early. The sun is partially up, but looking around, you don't see or hear anything just in the hallway with the rooms.
He'll go over to Leonora's room, sort of gently knock.
Leonora and Rowan are sharing a room, so you both hear the...
Roan will just kind of like sit up a bit and just look at Leonora.
What time is it?
Late, I'm assuming.
Oh. Who is it? She calls to the door.
It's Mykolas.
Roan will give Leonora like a look like,
Lenora will roll her eyes, get up, and go to the door and crack the door, talking between. Mykolas, what is up?
Something's wrong.
Wrong?
I was warned of danger.
Lenora will look back at Rowan and open the door, presuming that Rowan is appropriately dressed.
man, that's such a toss-up
How-
question.
How does Rowan sleep?
I think she's one of those soldiers that has to sleep with some type of armor on, but not like the most uncomfortable parts. So like she still has like her leather pants on, like in like a regular shirt, and her axe next to her. So she's decently dressed.
And Lenora is wearing a long dress with a shawl, and she'll open the door a little wider and hold it open and say, "Come in." What do you mean there's danger?
She told me that there was something dangerous here in the inn.
She's gonna take a moment and like pinch her eyes for a second, and then she's going to open and read their room specifically.
Much as when you went to bed the the weave seems normal. As you glance over to Mykolas, there's an odd vibration to his that you've seen before. You've never quite put together what it means.
She's going to take a note of that. And she goes, Mykolas, unfortunately, I cannot see unless I can see. So if you'd like to check it out, I just need someone to escort me.
We could do a quick patrol if you want.
That would be great. Roan, let us get ready. Mykolas, would you like to accompany?
Yes, let's wake the others in case it is a problem.
All right. We will see you in just a few moments, please.
Okay.
She ushers him out.
Yeah.
I have a question. It's just kind of she lifts up her finger to Leonora.
Yes.
Are you sure you want me to go with? Yeah, no, y'all can just.
He's getting everyone anyway. Why wouldn't we go together? Please just get dressed.
Hachi. And she just she continues putting on her armor.
She takes a pillow from the cot and just throws it at Roan.
Roan just kind of dodges it okay, jeez.
Starts getting her things together.
And Mykolas will go to the other door and wake the others. But back to our room, basically.
All right. Rafael and Umberto, Mykolas steps into the room. And how do you wake people when you're trying to do it in a hurry?
Yeah, he'll kick their feet.
Okay. So Raphael immediately hand goes to his hip and pulls the dagger and sits up at the ready, and then is just and just sort of dismissively hand waves when he realizes that the only reason that Mykolas ever does something like that is because there's stuff happening. And so he just gets up and wordlessly starts getting dressed and getting outfitted.
And Umberto, once he's been jostled awake, he will actually tumble out of the bed into a crouched position with a dagger flipped backwards, looking around.
Something's
Okay.
We need to check the building out. You come get your weapons. We're going to go check.
Okay, that's fine. What do you think? What do you think is the matter? Where did you get this information from? Was there noise that didn't wake us, or?
I got a warning.
Okay. Well,
All right.
Considering who we got into a bit of an entanglement with yesterday, it would not surprise me if they were snooping around at some point, but I figured we got away scot-free from that.
Yeah. And Mykolas is stepping into his boots and pulling them up on and grabbing his sword belt and putting it around. He's not getting the full regalia, but he's ready for a fight.
Berto straps all his stuff on, kind of does the windmills with his arms. All right.
And we'll say around the same time, Roan and Leonora come out ready to go as Mykolas, Rafael, and Umberto do the same, and you all step out into the hallway. And the inn remains very quiet, much as it had been when you all woke up. There has not been a ton of noise. You've stayed in this hotel for a couple of nights at this point, this tavern / inn. That's not unusual. at this time. It's technically open, but things this early in the morning tend to be quiet.
Lenora is going to ask Mykolas to lead the way as she opens her eyes again to read the room as she's walking behind.
All right. As you all come down to the common room, there's a quiet that leads you to expect the room to be empty, but when you arrive, you see one seat occupied by a single man. Wearing clothes consistent with the Coronian middle merchant class, he sits so still you might almost think him an intricately crafted doll until his eyes flick to see you. Everything about him could be described with the phrase X, but not quite Y. His hair is dark, but not quite black. His features pleasant, but not quite handsome. His eyes pale blue, but not quite piercing. His physique healthy, but not quite strong. The sort of person you could see, have a long conversation with, and then instantly and forever forget 5 minutes later. His eyes flick up to you and scan all of you up and down. And then they close for about 30 seconds. While he is doing this and you are reading the room, Leonora, you read his arcana to be the moonless night and the lovers. And then when his eyes open again, they focus on Mykolas. You are Mykolas Kelvan. It isn't a question. Have a seat. We've much to discuss.
Mykolas will pause for a moment, sort of assessing for if there's any potentially people he can't see out of line of sight.
What is your notice skill?
It is the skill I use to notice things.
Correct.
He has 1 dot. He has 1 dot. Notice.
Yeah, 1 dot. Looking around, you do not see anything. There is one drunk in the corner who was there last night when you all finally put into bed, who has not woken up yet, kind of curled in the corner. But other than him, the room is kind of dark, but there are still some torches and the fireplace going, and so not a ton of places to hide people.
He'll step forward. He won't sit. He'll step closer, but he won't sit. He will stand there. Who are you and what do you want?
I am Janos Jovanovic. I am, like you, a losejas, in service of the Ratas. Is this a conversation you are comfortable having in front of your companions?
Are you here to cause me harm?
Not the initial intention, no. But sometimes things change.
Do I happen to see any sort of link between them?
Yes. In point of fact, you do. It is not a, and this happens from time to time. It is a sort of link that you have associated with people who share an association. Like, it's one you have seen before between Raphael and other members of the priesthood.
Mm-hmm. 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 I think Lenora will just say, no, please go about your business. I shall sit right over here. And she'll take a seat at a table that is close-ish to the bar, but not at the same table. Not at the same, he can't reach me.
Does anyone have a notice of 2 or higher?
Yes.
Okay. Those with a notice of 2 or higher, you would notice as the rest of the group comes into the room, his eyes flicker to each of you, They rest on Roan and Leonora slightly longer than everyone else, like a half a second maybe, and then fixedly back to Mykolas, as if he started looking and is very conscientiously maintaining focus. Yes, Rafael.
I want to see if this, like, because I'm also trying to do the thing. Am I notice, like, peek around and see if there's anything of note on this guy aside from the fact that he is here to talk to Mykolas? Notice anything, any kind of paper sticking out of his pockets, any weaponry he might have, anything of that nature?
He is armed.
Okay.
A sword hangs from his belt, a pistol as well, but nothing out of the ordinary. Does not have any obvious paperwork on him, though he does have a sort of satchel that looks like it would normally be worn over his shoulder that is sitting beside the table. And again, nothing particularly strange about that. It's clear from his speech he is not native to Vadachi, and so has probably traveled quite some way to get here.
Mykolas is going to steal his expression into a sort of neutral one and be like, he'll turn back to the others. If you want to go back to bed, it's fine. I will. It's just a countryman who wants to speak to me. Like there's nothing wrong.
Lenora's gonna roll her eyes and sit down.
Roan is gonna do a patrol outside because she don't trust that this dude came alone.
Okay. Does anyone go with Roan?
Raphael
Umberto
will.
will sit at the bar.
Okay. It turns out there is a waitress who is working. She comes out from the kitchen and will go up to Umberto and be like, can I get you something? The stew is not yet quite ready, but the bread is freshly baked.
Oh, my dear, you would be an angel. I would love it. Thank you.
Of course. Butter? Honey?
No, you're sweet enough. And he'll wink.
She giggles and then goes to get the bread. Roan and Raphael, I'll get to you in a second as you both step outside. Janos kind of nods as they move around. You have not been the easiest man to find.
You will finally sit down. That was sort of the point, wasn't it?
Favors needed to be called in for it.
I was told to be out in the world, away from home.
Told by who?
Why are you here?
I am with the Ratas. You know of us, yes?
Yes. I grew up in the forest. I know the Ratas.
And yet you left without seeking us out.
It was to avoid scandal.
When one such as us avoids the fold, it makes people nervous. We are all of the circle, whether we like that or not. It is the only way to survive. It is the only way to keep them contained. Or did someone tell you otherwise?
No. I am familiar.
They work together, Mykolas. They have a circle of their own. If we do not do the same, we fail, and we become as puppets.
I know the rules. The only reason I didn't check in with the Ratas is because I was trying to avoid a scandal.
You are always going to have to leave the army, but not because of scandal. Because we do not trust generals with powers such as ours.
I serve the crown.
Don't we all?
They asked. I obeyed.
That obedience is going to have to come to an end.
Are you telling me to disobey orders from the crown?
Yes, if those orders were to stay away.
No.
You have been to the museum, yes?
I
You've
have.
seen the heads of the Devi.
I have.
The losajas that need to be contained do not receive as public an internment. There is a pit in the Devi swamp where their corpses go. We serve each other, period. Obedience to the crown, obedience to the church, obedience to the old gods, obedience to your aged mother, I do not care which, all are secondary to keeping them contained. And we do that by working together. I'm sorry that this is how this has to go. You are a soldier, and it would have been better if you had continued living in a world where you could pick the orders that you followed. But when you made that deal, you became either one of us or a problem, and I need you to decide which you are. Now.
I am a soldier. I do follow orders. I followed the orders of those who I've sworn to serve. I'm sworn to serve the crown.
Then it is time to break your oath for the good of the crown. Look at it this way. The crown made you nobility. And nobles have to think beyond simply following orders. You are not Montagnan to bend knee to l'empereur, whatever is required. You're Samartian. So act like it. You are no longer a soldier. If I have to call you my Lord Kelvin to make it easier, I will. But I don't think that's what you're after. I just need you to understand. And he takes a moment, and you can see him actively taking control of his emotions again. It's something you've had to do in the past. And there's a twitch that you recognize as well. And Lenora, that you have seen in Mykolas.
Can Lenora understand what's going on? Are they speaking Sarmatian?
Assume you can understand what's happening. They are speaking Samartian probably, but assume we're all good on the language here.
Okay.
Because he would have spoken so he could be heard in the room and understood. Because he did not send you away.
Oh, sus.
I do not wish to be your enemy. I do not want to see what us fighting here will mean. But I need you to understand. When we turn, or when we reject the role in the Ratas, we are put down like rabid dogs, and I think you know why.
I do. I also know that I am not the only Lesage walking around in the world.
No, you are not.
So why am I somehow special?
Because you're Losajas. Because of the Devai who follows you. We make no exceptions. The ones who walk in the world either do so at the will of the circle or while being hunted by them. And I have been hunting you for a while now. And now I need to know. Will you come into the circle, even if it means betraying your oath to a king? Or are we enemies?
You should know better than to ask one of us to break an oath, to break a deal.
The king is not Devai, and I didn't ask you to make that deal. But if you had also made a deal with your Devai that I needed to kill you to stop, I would do that as well. We choose to break others' deals all the time. There are some deals that are more important than others. Keeping them contained is more important than the ego of a king. It is more important than your pride as an oath keeper. Now, my orders are not to bring you in. We do not want to put you in a cell. Your walk, your journey with the Devai is your own, but there will be times we need to call upon you. Because there are others who walk in the world, and some do not do so for anything other than their own gain. Mykolas, I am offering you membership in the Retas, but I am telling you that that membership will call you home from time to time.
Currently, this will not require me to break my orders. To say, yes, I accept membership. And yes, I will do things for you. The moment it comes in the question of breaking my orders, then we will have a different conversation.
I suppose we will. You'll learn. When you need to call on one of us so that you can make one of your bargains without harming those around you, or when you need help in a corner that your Devai has pushed you into, you'll understand why we do this, even if it means breaking every other oath. The other sorcerers, they play their games with power and sleep so well at night. But I dream. Every night I dream. Even in rest, I cannot sleep. We need each other. That is why the circle exists.
I think I understand what you're trying to say and what you're wanting. But if I'm going to be strong enough to resist her, I need to keep to my principles as much as I can.
Principles, sometimes, a soldier knows, need to be broken. In fact, I believe you've already done so once. You regret doing it, but you would do it again. Yes?
I would.
Then you do understand. As I said, I'm Janos Jovanovic. My Devai is Zanchenstrat of Love and Shadow.
I am Mykolas Kelvan, and my Devai is the Rona, the Crow of War.
We need you to travel northwest of here, across the border, into the Proclit Forest. There have been odd signs, odd sightings of magic. We do not believe Devai caused. But if they are, it is believed your talents or those around you will be of use.
So not just me, but my companions.
Those I cannot order, nor would I. And if they choose to abandon you to this, then you will have to use what you have. But I recommend not turning away allies when they are available to you. If you play your game alone, you will lose. If we play the game alone, we always lose.
I'm not alone.
That is good. Don't ever be alone. If your companions abandon you, come to us. We cannot be alone, for their voice is all we hear. A soldier understands the value of a company.
He'll look around at all of the ones that are still in the room. Yes, I do.
Do you have any more questions of me?
I suppose I could send letters. Is there a place to send them?
He would reach into his bag and pull out a small piece of parchment that he hands to you. Letters sent to this address will get to any losejas you know by name. If there are none that you know who would be of immediate use to that, they will find one, if at all possible. Your name is known, and after I report, they will know you have chosen to walk with us in this time. We are too spread thin to babysit each other. We will assume you are with us until you prove you are not.
Very well.
Understand, no ill will meant. We just cannot take risks.
No, I understand.
He stands up, puts his bag over his shoulder, will walk over to Leonora, stay back from her. He does not even come within arm's reach, but he gives a low bow. Madame, my apologies. And turns and walks out.
Lenora's eyes are going to follow Janusz as he exits the door. And as soon as he closes the door, Lenora's going to stand up, walk right over to the bar, and slap Mykolas in the face. What the hell was that?
Before we get there, we're going to jump out. Plus, to give Jeremiah a second to get a sense, that would be outside, walking in the city night. Fontaine is a big enough town that it never entirely goes to sleep. There are business walking around. But as Raphael and Roan make their first kind of lap of the block, the inn is part of this conglomeration of the city block. No immediate signs of trouble. Rowan, you keep waiting for something to jump out at you, and so far, nothing.
Oh man.
Too bad there's no scary boogeyman to jump out of the shadows to give you something to whack at.
That would not be the first time. So
I'm sure you have plenty of fascinating stories as it comes to different things you've encountered in the night.
the day, afternoon, summer, winter, when I'm going to the bathroom, yeah, it's quite a bit of things.
That is, I would hate to be set upon during any kind of constitutional. I am so sorry. What was it? Was it big? Was it small? Was there a lot of them?
It was a, I don't know, like a creature just in the bucket. I don't know. It was weird. It was just, it was a time.
Raphael will chuckle and says, "You still, I still learning new things about you. You're fascinating."
Right. Well, I have, there is a lot of things about me that I feel like a lot of people don't know. Well, besides the fact that I like to punch things a whole lot, which I feel like I do more than I should, but
You also are a pretty decent dancer when you are not so deep in your cups that you decide to meet with the floor biblically.
You know what's funny?
Hmm?
The alcohol doesn't really affect me much.
Oh, it doesn't affect me either, by the way.
Oh, so we have to try really hard to get drunk. That makes sense.
I have not been able to get drunk for a while.
Well, I happen to know there is a certain alcohol that can get you really turned up, but it's probably not a good idea.
What on earth is it called? Wait, hold on a second. Out of character, Dan. Does Raphael know what liquor that Rowan is speaking of?
You have not encountered, since you started noticing that you haven't been able to get drunk, nothing has worked.
This is to be fair, I'm going to have to take your word for it, because everything that I have tried, and believe me, I have tried, nothing has worked.
Well, I've gotten to travel the world, and I've found, interesting things. So we'll figure it out. Maybe we can do this type of bar hop thing. I'm sure the others are going to be perfectly fine with us doing that. So
as you all are kind of walking around and doing another lap, and you've been walking and patrolling for a while, no sign of anything outside. The door to the tavern opens, and you see as Janos walks out, just carrying his bag. He's got, sword and pistol, but neither are drawn, as he steps out and kind of looks around and starts walking. Do you all try to intercept him? Do you just let him go? Do you follow?
I want to follow him so bad.
Rowan would just kind of yell after him and just I'm assuming we're friends now. Be safe.
He would pause and turn and look at you both. You protect him?
I try.
We do.
He seems collected, together. He is none of those things. He needs the help. He needs and he just walks.
Oh, okay. Dan, can I get a hero point and not leave well enough alone and
absolutely
say one parting shot? He says, "You talk an awful lot about a man that you do not know. We have the privilege of knowing him a little bit better than you do." And he's gonna walk into the bar.
He smiles as you do that, and he says, "I know him better than I should, but I hope you are right."
Rowan is just like eyes wide, like, "Oh shit," and then look back at the guy. Sure, bud.
And
Bye.
Rowan, you kind of look back to Raphael as he's kind of storming it, and when you look back, the guy's just gone.
Fuck.
He'd started walking down a more shadowed street, and now all you see is the shadow of the street.
Man, I gotta learn that. Okay. And she'll make her way back into the bar, but she'll peek back into the bar. It's like, is tensions high?
Yes.
You both walk in just in time to see Mykolas pulling his face back with a hand on the cheek. Umberto, you have had a freshly baked loaf of bread placed in front of you. You've been offered tea or ale, whatever you're in the mood for this morning.
He'd take a tea.
She would serve you the tea, and she is being super attentive and sweet as you've been so.
As he sees Leonora slap Mykolas, he's got the bread. As soon as he takes a bite, he just, while chewing, Nora, use your words.
Do you want me to use my words? I can show you, Cugino.
No, focus on him. He's the problem.
Turns.
Yes, we should talk.
Yes, in front of everyone, not behind closed doors or open, whatever they are. You have not been telling us everything, obviously, but the moment that you tell me this big secret, this stranger just decides to tell everything. What else are you hiding?
He was trying to force me into something.
Force you into what? Into protection? Into some way to get rid of your soul-sucking whatever?
No. The Ratas. All the Sajha members of the Ratas. The Ratas is a circle of those of us who have... He'll be quiet enough so that he's talking to her and not like everybody in the bar. The Ratas are a circle of those who made the deals with the Divine.
Not so loud. She says, so you make deals. And because you've made deals, now you are part of some organization that you decided not to tell us was coming to hunt you down.
I didn't think they would hunt me down.
Because you're that evasive.
No. I figured they would be patiently waiting for me to seek them out.
Well, obviously you were wrong.
Yes, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
She's gonna look at him and she's gonna read. Because she has to do this every single episode.
It's just the way it is. All right, you look at him, and his arcana are not changed. They're what they normally are, and the vibration that you'd noticed before seems to have calmed.
She's going to wait a moment. She's going to see Roan and Raphael enter as they're watching this, obviously eating popcorn. And she goes, you almost risked the lives of everyone here.
I made the deal under unfortunate circumstances.
I don't care about your deals. I care about this company that you have brought me into, because you are everything that I have. I have nothing. And if this goes, I will continue to have nothing.
Can we please burn her now?
Can we hear this? Raphael,
Oh,
can
I'm being
Raphael and
loud.
Rowan hear this?
Yeah, you can hear Lenora. You did not hear Rona.
Okay, I didn't figure we heard Rona, but it was more of the seeing the tension. Raphael is eyebrows are gonna knit together and are just gonna kind of slowly approach, kind of like you would like the whole tense scenario. He can't help himself. He's just like, what? Why are we? Who was that man? Because we just ran into him outside, and he had plenty to say about you and what you actually were, and the fact that you needed us, which is fine. I have no issue with protecting you, but this calm and collected thing, evidently, according to him, I'm inclined to not give it any validity, but he said it was all a facade. I told him he could stuff it, to be quite frankly, because we know you a little bit better, but apparently there was a little bit we did not know.
Lenora scoffs, goes to the other side of Umberto, and then takes some of the bread with honey and just stuffs it in her mouth.
It's delicious.
Everyone is entitled to their secrets. Regina, you, me, them. Why he did this, that's his business. As long as it doesn't hurt us in the long run, it may, then we will have a problem. But until then, why isn't a matter.
I didn't want you to get brought into anything. You say that you don't have anything but us. I don't have anything but us. I have no family. I have my oaths, and I have you, and that's it.
Not quite it, if you recall.
I was ordered to leave the country.
What a privilege.
It wasn't a privilege. I lost everything.
Around this time, the waitress steps out and is moving amongst everyone. Sorry to interrupt. Does anyone need food or drink or anything? The stew is almost finished, and we have the bread and
More bread. She
More-
still stuffs
more-
her.
More bread too. Yes.
Can I also take you up on the bread and a glass of your house wine, white, red? I do not care which, just as long as there's a lot.
Okay. And as she brings stuff out, she kind of goes by, and as she brings some stuff to the table where Mykolas is sitting, she puts it down and kind of it's over and like, my cousin has a flower stall. It's a couple roads down. It should be open in an hour or two if you're looking to make amends. And then she.
Thank you. So,
Dios mío.
what do you want to know?
I have a question. And she that's like bread still like stuck in her teeth. Are we gonna fight some big, monstrous thing or group of people that we need to worry about, or when it comes to you anyway?
I have been told that I have to go do a thing. I will not force anyone, obviously. If you don't want to go, you don't have to.
Right.
But I can't imagine facing some of these challenges without you anymore.
Oh, yeah. Of course I'm gonna help, dude. You can help me all the time, even though I haven't. That's not important right now. Yeah.
I would not be a good shepherd if I did not protect my sheep from time to time. No, I'm not going anywhere.
That ship has already left the dock, so you're stuck with all of us, it seems.
Indeed.
You'll look at Lenora.
Lenora is facing like away, like she's looking straight ahead across the bar as you look at her, still stuffing her face with bread.
I mean, is this the time where we I don't know, share things about each other? Like, just in case there's, other things that are gonna try to kill us as a whole.
I think it is very glaringly apparent what tends to follow me around. I don't really think there is a need to share beyond much more than that. That is the biggest thing that follows over my shoulder, and it will always follow me until I am dead or in a cell. So, that's not a surprise to anyone in this group.
Right.
No? Nothing? No? No.
Food is shared. Drink is shared. Eventually, the tavern starts to get busy again as people come downstairs for breakfast or come in to drink an early breakfast or whatever the case may be. And as tensions sort of rise and wane, the drunk in the corner gets up and stands up and is just like massaging his temples and goes, "Oh, I had the weirdest dream. And you were there, and you were there, and you were there, and you were slapping people. But that may have just been me remembering my old aunt. I should probably... I think I live that way." And he stumbles out the door.
Hmm.
Do you need help, senor?
No, not until my wife realizes I was out all night. If
Hmm.
anyone
back here, I
asked,
will
I
help you.
wasn't drinking. I'm probably having an affair. And he walks out.
Probably safer. Anyway,
Apparently.
So
Well,
he will walk over to Lenora. I am sorry. What can I do to make amends?
She will take a second. She's going to put whatever she has in her hands down, because I'm sure she has bread or tea or something that she's eating her feelings away. And she is going to look in his direction, but not directly at his eyes, and put her hands out.
When you say putting hands out, do you mean like
this?
he will? Okay, he will.
And go ahead.
He will look at the hands and look back like he clearly is not understanding completely.
This would be. I would think that this would be like a sign for you to offer your hands back.
Okay, he will put his hands up.
Immediately, she's gonna slap them, look him dead in the eye, like slap his hands down, look him dead in the eye, and say, "You are never to lie to me again."
Oh shit!
I mean it, Mykolas. Because I will know.
I give you my word. I will never lie to you.
Good, then it's settled. So how do your deals work with your companions?
Also, can you tell us about where we are going?
Couple of hours north. Or not a couple of how far north did he say?
Probably a few days northwest, the Proclit Forest in southern Samartia.
Yeah, a few days north. It's right near the border, just across into Sarmatia.
All right. Umberto, would you like to come with me to collect supplies for this mission that we are now on?
Absolutely. Let's go.
She's going to take his arm and like rush out the door.
And I thought I knew how to clear a room.
Pretty good at it, she is.
All right. Before we fast forward ahead a little bit, anything specific that anyone is going to look to get done in town before they go?
Raphael will resupply, quote unquote, and also check in on the, if he can, check in on the family that he did the funeral for the night before.
Yeah.
And leave some coin for them.
They laugh at the coin and push it away. They're actually a fairly well-to-do family. They actually put some coin in your hands, because they never got the opportunity to pay you because an Inquisition hit squad showed up. But they thank you very much. They feel quite at ease, and no Inquisitors have followed or come to question them since. Granted, it's just morning of the next day, but they feel like after that kind of an embarrassment, particularly given that things with the Inquisition are not as solid in Vodacce as they are in Castile, the Inquisition would rather pretend it didn't happen.
Okay. Then the last thing he will say to them before he leaves is this: just remember to keep the faith the way it's actually supposed to be kept.
Nona would not have it any other way.
And with that, he will part and set about working on noticing things while he waits for his compatriots. He'll take some of his coin, buy a stand. If there's a stand with apples, he'll grab one for each of the group.
There is indeed an apple stand.
Yep, and wait for them to arrive.
At the apple stand, the little boy asks you if you want your apples plain or flavored.
You flavor them? With what, might I ask?
Well, these if you want someone to have a bad stomach ache after. These if you wish to give them a really bad headache. And I don't sell these, they're bad.
Oh, of course. Would never dream of asking. I will just take the regular kind, and
Okay.
And we'll offer a smile and a bit of a wink as if to say, I'm not going to tell anybody if you don't.
The kid's like 10 years old and smiling at you clear as day.
It's just adorable. It's just, he'll take the 5 apples and sort of sit, and he'll find a spot to sit that is sort of the quote unquote meeting place. And he's just going to sit and kind of use one of his daggers to kind of cut the apple sort of like around the core, and is just gonna sit, wait, and notice. If anybody else needs him, he'll be there, but otherwise he's just gonna wait for everybody to get back from their individual errands, where they will get their apple when they get back, depending on who goes.
Mykolas?
Yeah, Mykolas is actually going to go to the flower seller. He will ask advice. What is a good flower to get if you're trying to apologize for a wrongdoing?
Did you sleep with another woman?
No.
Did you stab a close family member?
No.
Forget an anniversary?
Closer. I failed to tell some secrets.
Oh. She hands you one that she'd been pointing at for sleeping with another woman. This will be close enough.
Fair enough. I'll take one of those. Thank you very much.
And it's a little mini bouquet, and she kind of pretties it up and everything, and goes, now remember, you saw her eyes and you thought of these, and they match her eyes, and this is why you want to give them to her, not because of the other thing.
I'm probably not going to do that exactly, but thank you for the advice.
Okay, when it goes bad, you can buy more.
And he will slip back to the inn and quietly go up to her room and just leave it on her bed. As he starts packing up all his stuff.
Leonora, anything for you?
I've taken Umberto out to the city, mostly to keep an eye on him, but also so he knows that he makes sure that I don't murder anybody. Probably just getting odds and ends. Any sort of medical care that we may need, like some fresh herbs or some remedies that we could use up in the journey ahead. I can use a survivalist feat later to like forage or hunt and find enough food for everybody for 5. But yeah, otherwise I'm huffing about and I'm just trying to gather stuff.
Anything you're looking for on this trip, Umberto?
Would Umberto have heard mention of the flower stall?
Yes.
Okay. So as they're wandering around, he's going to find the flower stall. And he's
and the
going
girl's
to
hair
ask,
looks very much like her sister who gave the recommendation.
he is going to ask just for 2 matching flowers. Doesn't matter what they are.
She offers you 2 lilies.
Perfecto.
And who might I ask are those for? One for the bar, the lady at the bar, and one for, what was her name? Adriana?
No. Actually, something far more sinister. I assure you. Can you wait a moment, please?
All right.
I'll be right back. He's going to go back to the inn. And he's going to hopefully dodge Roan and Raphael. And he's going to put one of those on Roan's bed.
I love it. Yep. Rowan, what are you up to during this getting everything set up time?
She doesn't have anything specific. But she has realized that she fall from very far heights a whole lot. So she's going to see if she can find like some more padding, like body padding for next time. Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of tailors around and they're used to that kind of thing. And so they're able to get you some decent padding that could go under the armor.
Okay. So that's what she's out and about and doing.
And while you're out and about doing that, you're going to come back and find a lily on your bed. I will say though, Leonora, while you are waiting for Umberto to come back, suddenly you have a strange feeling of synergy, a connection. Hello, dearie.
I assume that this is a voice from behind or
I'm
around.
in an alleyway near the cart.
She's gonna like take like a small gasp and look around and see who's before her.
You see an old woman wearing a long black veil over her head and face.
She goes, "Shit!" She goes into her pocket and she puts on her veil. Miss Goosey,
You should come in here to talk.
I apologize, my lady. I'm waiting for my friend. They said they would be back any moment.
A pretty face like yours, they'll wait longer if they must.
I'm gonna read her.
You read her, and you can see the Emperor and coins for the ferryman.
Oh, okay. Does she react to me reading her?
She smiles.
All right. If it will only be a moment, I'm sure I can do that. Being very respectful, immediately like her demeanor completely changes into like what is expected of her.
Is it that, or is it more of a misbehaving teenager who's been caught?
Shut up.
Based on what I'm saying.
Maybe a little bit of both. I mean, she's not a teenager, but like at this moment, probably acting like it. Yep.
She steps you back into this alley, and it's actually fairly well concealed. And she looks you over, reaches out, takes one of your hands, lifts it up, and starts tracing the lines in your palm with her finger.
Signora, Miss Guzzi, what are you doing?
Don't you know? You wear the veil. You read the cards.
Yes.
Didn't anyone teach you?
She pauses a moment, a little more solemn now. Yes, I did have a great teacher. Unfortunately, we don't come from too much, so I did not get to practice.
Are you from one of the circles?
From the stories? No.
Here in Fontaine?
No.
Or down in Villanova? Perhaps Felici?
She takes a moment when she says Felici. I am from just outside of Felici.
She turns your hand to the backside, and her finger touches your knuckles. Well, I can see you are not taught there. Not by the circle, anyway.
No, I had one teacher. And she was a great teacher, and she says it with with a lot of conviction.
You wish to learn more? Now that you no longer have your great teacher?
She stays silent and almost annoyed, but stays quiet.
Girl, you walk with interesting companions. Your weave is chaotic and yet grand, but wounded. Why so wounded?
It is a lot when you come from the mud and trouble catches up to you quickly. And she tries to like take her hand back.
She allows you to take the hand back. But it wasn't the mud that hurt you. It protected you.
She looks at her very puzzled. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I cannot be more specific in the moment. You are preparing for a trip, and she gestures to the odds and ends that you're carrying in a bag.
Yes, my odd friends that you speak of and I are off to go deal with business.
Ah, for those days. Avoid patrols. Do not be seen in the Vale if you are trying to leave the country. I'm sure you know why.
See,
But if you are not well known, they will not know to be looking for you.
I am no one.
That is changing. Isn't it?
What is your name?
Call me Misa.
Misa.
Mama
Misa,
means Misa if you wish. My children are long gone, though.
Misa, I have to be returning to my friends now.
Wait. Before you go, may I see your deck?
She pulls out her deck and hands it over to her. Very, very much like two hands over, as if it's like a very fragile piece of glass.
She takes it and looks at them. Ah. I recognize. Painted in Villanova. Traded everywhere. But very well kept. Your teacher taught you well.
Thank you.
But their time of usefulness to you is coming to an end. It is time for you to make your own deck. Your teacher would have taught you this if she'd had time, but I'm guessing she did not.
No.
The first step of your growth, you know the cards. Make your own deck.
And I assume the materials are fairly easy to find.
There is a printer's down the road, and blank paper is cheap enough.
She looks out the door or out the alleyway and around the corner, and she thinks about it, and she kind of nods and looks back and says, I will.
She
Grazie.
very gently hands the cards back. You'll notice did not, other than turning it over to see the paint, did not disturb them in any way, did not move them, did not shuffle them, did not do anything that could be interpreted as cutting them. It remains your deck. She has not put her imprint on it at all.
Mm-hmm. She takes them back and places them back in her pocket.
And if I may, one last thing. She reaches into the folds of her robes and pulls out a small symbol of the Vaticine faith. An older one, the kind that hails back to when the Vaticine was a mostly Vidacian faith. And she doesn't put it in your hand, but holds out her hand to you with it in the palm. For the sake of your poor mother.
She's going to take her hand and just do a slight bow. Thank you.
And she turns and walks away. Oh,
And sh-
one last thing. Whoever he is, men remain men. They can grow, but they never really change. That is not the Fate Witch. That is the mother who has raised daughters.
She gives an audible chuckle. Thank you again, Mama Misa.
And she
And-
walks away.
Yeah, Lenora is gonna watch her walk away as if
Mhm.
she's like vanishing and dissipating into thin air.
She doesn't. She just turns a corner. There's nothing magical about her.
I'm
leaving.
just imagining like she's waiting for it. Nothing happens.
Yeah. No, nothing like that.
Yes.
An old woman walking.
She takes a minute. She places a hand on her necklace, kind of finding breath again to come naturally, and then she exits the alley and sees if Umberto is on his way back.
By now, he would be.
Cousin, I'm so sorry. I have to. I have one more errand I must run.
Do you need me to come with?
That would be appreciated. You also see her continuing to be in the veil, that you've probably never seen before.
Why the change?
It's if you should know that this is custom, and someone recognized me, so I have to do what custom says.
See.
But we have to go over here, and she's going to lead over towards the print shop and gather the last remaining supplies for her deck.
He is able to sell you paper. He also has the availability of paints.
I do
If she
like
wishes to
paint.
paint her own. You do know that not every Fate Witch does, that some commission the painting done. So long as they are the ones guiding it, it is still considered to be their deck. Though the ones that are painted by the witch who used them, there's a bit of a debate on whether or not that is superstition or not, but some think those decks are even more attuned.
She would definitely grab paint for herself.
Okay.
For she doesn't know if she's going to be around long enough for a painter or someone to custom make the art. So she wants to be able to use it on the go.
Meanwhile, Rowan, you walk into the room where you were staying, and I caught you. You see, this is my waiter experience there. I can always catch someone right after they put food in their mouth. You walk in your room, and there is a lily on your bed.
I think, firstly, because the last time a flower was left on her bed, she got stabbed in the chest. Quite literally. So she immediately grabbed her axe and she's like looking around the room and turning shit over, turning the bed over and everything.
Nothing in the room.
And then she just looks down at the flower and she'll pick it up and smell it. And she's like,
Smells nice.
somebody's fucking with me.
All
Just
right.
in case, though. And she like tucks it like in the safe part of her armor.
All right. Anything else in town?
Nope.
See
Not
none.
tonight.
We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back shortly. All right. Let's.
We're good.
Okay, and welcome back. You all have now been on the road for, we'll call it about a day and a half. The travel has gone well. The weather has been good. It is starting to get cooler, but that is expected as you head north, particularly when you get past the mountain range that's to the north of the city of Fontaine. The winds coming in off the sea are cooler. The winds coming down from the mountain ranges of Samartia, even more so. Occasionally, there will be a breeze from the east towards the Device Swamps. That is always unpleasantly warm and humid, but in general, the weather is good as you are heading north. And you've been traveling for a little while. Some rather intense things had gone down before the journey began. And what do we think the general vibe is as you are all walking or riding along the road, heading vaguely northwestwards?
I think Lenora is definitely writing. You could probably see her just kind of a little nervous because she's never been outside of Vadachi before. But she does what the old woman says. She put her veil in her pocket. And in her pocket, you can also see a little bouquet of flowers just slowly dying. But they're there.
Mykolas is Mykolas. He is often very dour a lot of the time, and he is very much that right now. He's just riding along, like being the soldier. He's got the soldier face on.
How about Raphael? Where's Raphael at?
Raphael going into they're going into Sarmatia, right?
Yeah.
And would he know about like what the presence or the likelihood is of the Inquisition being able to spot him or find him there? Would he know about what that is?
So Samartia is famously half and half. The western part of the country tends to be Vatacine. The eastern tends to follow the more old gods. There is an Inquisition presence there, but because the two sides live in relative harmony, Inquisitors tend to keep their profile low, because when they start doing what they say people need to be doing, they know that the powers that be in the Commonwealth are not going to tolerate that. That balance that is the Samartian Commonwealth right now means that the Inquisition cannot operate openly. They're definitely there,
Okay.
but they do not have much official power.
Okay, then his hood would be up still. I don't think he'd relax enough to keep it down. But he is kind of just scanning and generally speaking and making sure as the journey has gone on, is just making sure to sit and check in on everybody sort of periodically, making sure everyone's okay, making sure everyone's good. Because this is what Raphael does. He cannot help himself. And so he's just generally trying to make sure everyone is as good as they can be going into this, because he knows that Mykolas is sort of uncomfortable at all of this, and is just trying to support him as best he can, and also everyone else at the same time. So he's kind of just sort of sort of riding around in the middle of the group.
Okay.
And is just kind of just so he can be within ear and eye shot of everyone.
All right. Umberto.
He looks like a completely different person almost. Like there's a weight that was lifted as soon as they got out of the limits of Vadachi. Like there was something there holding him down, and then he just feels so much lighter.
Mhm.
and he's got a smile on his face, not like the cocky, brash smile, but just like, thank the prophet.
And Roan?
She is walking and staring at this fucking flower, but hasn't said anything about it. But she is just looking at it intensely.
All right. As the party is moving along and having small talk, chat, the weather, pretty songbird as they go past, suddenly you all hear the clash of arms coming from ahead. Not a big one, but this is border territory between Vidachi and Samartia, and so it's not particularly patrolled by either army because the two are not, Vidachi and the Commonwealth are not particularly at war right now, any more so than they are with anyone else. And so the presence of troops might lead to war, and so troops tend not to be there. And so bandits operate with a little more openness and gall than they might have otherwise. You all can hear that it's probably over the next ridge.
Fun.
We should probably be aware of it. I will ride ahead if no one objects, see if it's a fight we need to avoid or not.
Smart.
Very smart.
Lenora's keeping quiet, and can this be her receiving a hero point when your hero is stubborn and refuses to change her mind in the face of evidence? She's received the flowers, she's been talked to, she's been apologized to, but she just won't talk back over to Mykolas.
Beautiful. I love it. Take your hero point.
Thank you.
As I imagine that hero point is going to be earned a lot that way over the course of this campaign. Is anyone riding forward with Mykolas?
Umberto would go.
Or never mind.
Rafael
If
and
Umberto's going, he won't go. He'll stay
Okay.
back. with the-
As Umberto goes, he will come. He will ride close to Rafael, and I'm guessing Roan's in the back.
Yes.
And he'll just be like, "We'll be back," and he'll casually kind of drop the other lily close to Raphael and just go off.
What the?
We will get back to that in just a second. All right. Mykolas and Umberto, as you ride over the hill, you see, to your surprise, what appears to be an elderly gentleman, well equipped, decent armor, decent swords in an Avalonian style, standing and fighting a group of what appear to be brigands, dressed mostly in Vidachian style. And they're going around. They're not having much luck with him, though. They keep trying to get in, sneak in, like take a stab or whatever, and he is keeping them at bay with his sword and his shield, very old-fashioned fighting style. As he's moving around, batting weapons aside, it's like, "What ho, you scallywags! You dare face my blade?"
So yeah, I'm going to turn to Umberto. Umberto,
See,
I mean, it seems unfair. Let's make it more unfair. Let's go help the old man out.
Umberto has already drawn his rapier and is beelining.
Mykolas pulls out of a holster on the side of the horse his rifle, and as he's riding down.
Okay. As you both charge into the combat, we've got a single brute squad of about 10 that are trading blows with the mysterious old knight. As everything's going on, none of them have noticed you two riding in yet. So what are your approaches?
As Umberto is getting closer, he is going to as soon as he gets within range of them, he's going to leap off of the horse and kind of just jump stab attack on one of them.
I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that is a finesse and athletics from you. And you, Mykolas.
Mykolas is going to ride up and going to pick whatever of the brigands looks like he's doing the best and shoot the weapon out of his hand.
Okay, go ahead and your finesse and aim. And don't forget about flair. We are past the halfway point, and this is the first time I've asked for any rolls. Because we've had the drama.
We have had drama.
4 raises.
We've also had tea. Well, oh, okay. That's a workable 3.
3. All right. So with the 3, your shot goes off cleanly. The one brigand who was looking like he was starting to get behind the old man goes down from your shot. Umberto, and you are now 2 of the 4 raises you need into reloading the firearm to shoot it again. Umberto, you make your running jump, and you are actually able to drop 4 of them with your approach. Goes so well. So give us a little bit of flair and description how he makes that happen.
He lands on the first one, pulls out the blade, does a backwards kind of flip, coming up behind the second one, slashing him in the back, sidestepping around that one, kind of lunging into the third, pulling out, seeing one close by, and he goes, "Not very nice, picking on an old man like this. You should be ashamed of yourself." And then he will just stab that one through the heart.
The knight, seeing all this, goes, "Bravo, old chap. I was rather worried you all might be joining these scallywags, these rapscallions, these..." And he kicks one of them that's already on the ground. And then he starts swinging his sword around again, and he is able to bring down 3 of them. So now there are only 2 remaining. And he stands there and he looks and says, "Now, you gentlemen of the hills, you thieves of, I'm sure, innocent and virtuous women, do you really wish to face me when I have my allies with me and you no longer have numbers on your side?" And they kind of look back and forth. The correct answer here is no. You're horrifically outclassed. I could take the 2 of you down. He could take the 2 of you down. The one with the gun you might get to before he shoots you both, but I wouldn't count on it. He's on a horse, so maybe this is a good time to surrender.
What he said.
And they drop their weapons and run. Well,
Good
that's
choice.
not good sport. That's littering. Bandits these days, they have no class anymore. In my day.
So uncivilized.
Mykolas will ride up. I take it you run into this sort of thing a lot?
Oh, in my day, I have fought many a bandit. Some were terrible villains. Some were horrific. Some were actually very lovely ladies. Those were a little bit more conflicting in my time, but I always managed to stick to the side of true chivalry. And my back, sorry. That's terribly sorry. I'm being rude. Sir Bryant of Sheedguard, Knight of Avalon. How are you all doing? Well, thank you so much for coming to my aid. I could have handled these truants, but it's always good to fight with true heroes again.
I'm Mykolas. This is Umberto.
Good to meet you both. And grabs your hands and shakes them way harder than he needs. Just is obviously very into it. Excellent. Well, I was traveling along in search of a bit of adventure, and I heard there might be some to be had in these parts, and I rather thought, well, it's starting to get later in the evening. It might be a good time to set up camp somewhere. What brings you adventurers around?
We've heard there was trouble. We came
Ah, you've heard that as well. Fantastic. I come from a bit of ours away. I'm a knight of Avalon, and so they said, come to the Pricklet Forest, and I was like, well, very well. But as I'm getting closer, I hadn't heard much, and I began to wonder. There's always monsters to be found wherever I go, but I heard there might be something special in these woods.
Roan will be happy to meet you, I think.
Rowan? Rowan? Is Rowan here?
Yes, she is amongst our company.
Well, fantastic, and you move with more. Is she guarding your rear so that no one may take you from behind in a stunning or special ambush or anything like that? Are there Vidachins in pursuit?
Well, Lenora, but I wouldn't count that as pursuit.
Leonora. If you know a Vidachin named Leonora who is in pursuit, probably just marry her now. You will not escape her.
Vidachin women have that way.
Yeah, Mykolas has a moment of looking vaguely uncomfortable, like he doesn't know what to say.
Don't worry. I'm sorry. I tend to get carried away. Rheumatism. Anyway, may I? Where is Rowan and this Lenora?
With the Holy Father. Yes, they'll be up over the ridge here.
If she's chasing you with a priest, it is far too late to run.
That's what I'm saying. We already have the makings. They argue like a married couple.
Well, that's half the battle anyway. If you're worth arguing with, I mean, Vidachin, she would stab you if you weren't.
Yeah.
The secret to Vidachin women is if they slap you, clearly they're in love.
Takes notes.
That explains a lot.
Does it not anyway? Or if it was the other thing, you probably would not be alive. Anyway, terribly sorry. Let us. I have not seen Rowan in some time, and I would much like to. One moment, and whistles, and a almost equally ancient-looking horse that had been kind of just wandering and grazing during the fight. Come, Persepolis! Come on, you old coot! All right, now just let me hold still, Persepolis. Are they far?
Oh, no, not just over the ridge.
I can walk then. You have not had a good day's work in, well, accepting the whole ride here. It's probably fine. Anyway.
Would you like some assistance?
How about I bring them to you?
Fantastic. Yes, that'd be good. I will start setting up the camp.
Oh. I'll be
Sounds
right
sweet.
back.
So Mykolas and Umberto ride back over the ridge. Meanwhile, before all that happens, Rowan, you're kind of watching, keeping an eye on things, and you glance over and notice near Raphael's feet a white lily that looks very similar to the one you have.
She would like stare at it, look at Raphael, stare at it again. Hey, to Raphael.
Yes.
Is that yours? Points at the lily on the floor.
I don't think so. I don't remember picking it up. Why?
I mean, well, it fell out of your bucket, though. Well, I'm assuming because it's on the floor.
Quick,
question. How much would it take 2 + 2 to equal chair? And you figured out that Umberto did this?
One moment. What?
That's 2 equal chairs. Crazy.
What did you do?
What is your notice?
I have no dots in notice.
Oh,
Then you did not see it get placed there and have no reason to believe Umberto is responsible.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. We're working on it. Dang it. It's just like, that's odd. I don't remember it being there. Huh. No, there was- I mean, it just kind of shrugs. Not really. Kind of just. It looks like it.
What does then happen, though, you look back up to Rowan
Mhm.
and you see the flower that she's been looking at for this day and a half of travel that you've had. And your
Oh.
empathy is high enough for you to realize what she's thinking.
Oh, oh, God.
Come on.
Okay.
You're getting there. It's like a hamster on the wheel. We're good.
Rafael, like, he looks up, notices that, and then looks down at the flower. And then and he kind of just goes, it thinks in his head, oh God. Not in a there's a sort of panic on his face, and he just goes,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Was I-
Oh,
Was it not? I'm so sorry. And
Uh-huh.
has this like kind of looks confused and will sort of hop away. Like he's sort of like just like looking down at it. He wants to pick it up. But
Rowan is going to pick up the flower.
Yeah.
And hand it to Raphael and go, yeah, just keep that and I'll keep mine and we're going to keep walking.
Are you
And I mean, you seem very clammy. You started sweating. So I'm assuming you realized something. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep walking until you're ready to talk about it. Cool?
Roan, I
Around this time, Mykolas and Umberto come back over the hill.
yeah.
Look at that. Hey! She'll like turn and like yell at them.
Oh, good.
Raphael's gonna look over to Leonora, really legit confused and feels like he did something wrong and has no idea, and he's just kind of like, did I? Oh,
Leonora is going to ride next to the father, pat him on the shoulder, saying, "It doesn't have to be this serious. It is okay. You have done nothing wrong. But it is a nice flower, and perhaps this is a symbol for a closer bond, and you can choose to do with that what you will."
What I want and what I get to have are two entirely different things, Leonora.
Oh.
Well, the good thing about that is we all get to decide, Raphael. It is not your choice to choose for others. And she's going to... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
As I would never dream of forcing anyone to make a choice of any kind. I've already made my choices, and I just...
Then, Father, I encourage you to be bold, to say, live life to the fullest, even if your mind is already made up.
The flower does really accent her beauty quite well, I will say. Just wish I got to tell her that before she rode off.
Well, 'tis never too late to try.
Maybe later when we figure out what those two have gotten themselves into. And with that,
Oh.
he'll talk.
the flower into the inside pocket of sort of like inside the chest of his shirt, sort of next to his heart, and he will walk over, like on his horse, will kind of click his tongue and move forward to meet them in the middle, sort of shortly behind Rowan.
And Leonora would lead up the rear, shouting ahead, being like, "Oh, good, you're both alive."
Heard a lot of noise. Is anyone dead?
I did shoot one's weapon out of his hand, but Umberto was Umberto.
Right.
I don't know.
So
I
you
was
had
handing off my
fun.
game.
You had fun without us, Joy.
Oh, don't
Well-
worry. We saved the best for you.
Okay.
You'll see.
Oh,
A
yes.
surprise.
All right.
You'll probably like it.
Maybe. I don't know because you're saying it a little weird, but yeah, come on.
As you all ride over the hill, down the ridge, you see, when you'd been here before, there was just a battle happening. But as you ride over now, you see a blanket has been laid out. There is a whole picnic arranged. A fire is already burning. As Sir Bryant of Shieldguard, Knight of Avalon, and Bearer of the Mantle of Dada, stands just sort of busying around things and looks up at you all. Roan, my love! It has been ages!
Her face is super red,
Come, girl!
and she freezes, and she just like, "I think you can tell it was him, huh?" And she's like pushing Umberto like real hard. Are you fucking?
He looks at Mykolas. Okay, maybe not as good a surprise as we thought.
I like him.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, Sir Brian, hey! Oh. And she like turns like a teenage girl in front of her first crush that she hasn't seen in years. And she's like, "Yeah, you."
Oh, come on. Persepolis, it's Rowan, you remember? Oh, come on. And he walks up and just strides up right up to Rowan and just wraps her in a big ol' hug. And this is a big guy. Jolly is the way, just everything about the way he carries himself. And he just wraps her up in a huge hug. But he is tall enough to give her a big hug. And so goes and it's like, how's the hunting going, lass?
It's going well. We've got rid of a lot of troubling creatures.
Of course you have. And he turns and looks at all the others and arm claps around her shoulder. She is one of the finest students I have ever taught in the art of monster hunting. Nothing could ever escape her grasp. She did occasionally lapse on the details and various things that need to happen afterwards. But in the moment of the battle, there is none better. And I will... Why are you stuttering, sir? Introduce me to your friends. Let's see if I remember. Umberto Vitale, yes. And you said Mykolas, yes?
Yes.
Right. And let's see who's that. And that must be Leonora, and that must be the father she's brought along.
Yeah, Leonora, Raphael, and you already know the other two. Why are you here?
Oh, well, you see, so I had retired again, of course, but I was sitting at the table, and I heard tales of strange beasts that were being seen in the Proclate Forest in Samartia. And, well, I would never want to send a monster hunter to deal with anything that I was not willing to deal with myself, and so I saddled up old Persepolis, and he was very excited for the task, and the horse is just looking at you all utterly miserable. And then he turns around, and so then we came and we rode as grand adventurers. We rode across the plains of Eisen, Not a very pleasant place, as it turns out, but we did fine. And now here we are, practically upon our goal. And who should I run into but you, dear girl?
Yep. It's been a few years, and you said retired again.
Well, yes, they told me that, it was probably a time to let, the younger ones take up the mantle. But you know me, I was never good at just sitting in my halls.
So how's the back?
It's been better. I've
Uh,
been in a saddle for a couple of weeks now. I probably should have taken the boat to Vidachi, but a good charge felt like the way to begin.
Okay. So, sorry. And then he'll turn to the rest. This is Sir Brian, and then the whole title that he probably said multiple times. Basically, my first ever teacher, protector, adopted father figure person. Mentor. That's a.
Oh, I helped him a bit where I could, wherever I could. She barely needed the help at all. Have you ever seen her wield that axe? A natural born to it.
So, Bryant, for the time that I have known Roan, you would be most proud of your student.
I've never failed to be proud of her. Just absolutely the best. In fact, one time, there we were, an entire nest of griffins were rise up, and I came forward. I had my shield, and I had my sword, and I was going forward, and I struck, but then there was one, it was coming from behind. I thought for sure it had me, and then out of the shadows she came with her axe, and she brought it down and removed its head with a single chop. Absolutely magnificent. It was a bit unfortunate that if we were taking the boat back, she dropped the head into the water and it sank like a stone, but
Oh, yep. Because there's apparently a curse I have.
I was going to say, are you cursed?
Maybe.
It wasn't me.
Yes,
I
terribly
cannot.
sorry. There is a lady present, and I am not properly. And he walks up to Leonora and does a little half bow, which you're guessing is about as far as his armor will allow him to bend, and holds out a hand. Might I help you dismount, my dear?
I would be honored. Thank you, sir. And comes down, pats the horse, and brings the horse over to Persepolis.
The horse looks over at Persepolis like a young person might look at a very decrepit old person who might die at literally any moment. And
go ahead.
He turns around. As you can see, I took a little time. I was able to set up a little bit of a meal, a little something for us all to enjoy. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd come take a seat. The fire will be warm soon because night is coming. And help yourself to food and beverage. Rowan, could you help me with the chest armor? I don't bend very well with it on anymore. If you would please.
So, Brian, would you want me to take a look at your back for you? I'm a little. I have some medical training with my time.
Do you, good father? Fantastic. Absolutely. The old wife wouldn't be happy with me if she'd heard I turned that down, eh, Rowan?
Yeah, she's probably upset because you left without telling her again, right? And then she'll just with one hand just unstrap the armor, like very rough with it, like yeah.
Now, I never said I didn't tell her. I sent a letter while she was visiting with her sister.
Raphael will slowly make his way behind Sir Bryant and just sort of look at the back and everything else. Is there something that he can do?
The back is this massive scars. As you're able to see, as you're able to kind of lift the tunic, and also the back of a very old man, a big guy. He's clearly and they're as you're putting your hand on, this is muscle. This guy is strong, visibly strong, and has a sense of resolute to him. He's carrying wounds that a lesser man might have died from. But as he's there, you don't see any obvious wounds on the back, but you can see the muscles are kind of clenched in weird ways. It might work.
So he has only seen this sort of done, like he's only heard his mentor talk about this. So he slowly sort of rubs his palms together, and he will look at Sir Brian and says, "Do you mind if I pray?"
No, of course. An old objectionist myself.
I am more on the other side of things, but I am open to
It's all to the same Theas, is it not?
to absolutely. And he'll lay his hands out on the man's back, and he will.
Wait. You're not one of those Inquisition chaps, are you?
Oh, by the prophet, no. And
Okay.
he will.
I couldn't imagine. If Rowan's with you, I'm sure you're fine.
He will spend one of his 2 heroes points and use Miracle Worker.
All right. There's a moment, anyone who's watching this happen would see a slight glow coming from Raphael's hands. And suddenly, Sir Bryant stands up taller. And Rowan, you have not seen him stand this tall since like the first years of your internship with him. Honestly, it's like, well, if I knew Vadising clergy were this talented, I might have allowed some to stay at my castle. Well done. This is... I feel like a man 15 years younger. Rowan, perhaps when we're done here, we should ride north into Uzura, fight another pack of werewolves. Do you remember the time?
I do remember the time, and also remember getting a lot of scars from that.
Yes. There's this one and this one here and this. In any case, yes. Please sit, eat, drink. Good company is always important, better than sleep. And he much more comfortably now takes a seat with all of you.
Lenora's gonna go feed. She's gonna pull an apple out of her pocket, cut it like in half, and then feed half of it to Persepolis and give him a good pat on the nose.
Is pathetically thankful.
I love him.
At the and just chomps it up and like kind of pushes his nose into your chest and neck, like as if looking to see if there's any more.
She's already given the other half to the horse that she had been riding, and saying, I am so sorry, but you seem to be doing a great job. And then joins the rest around the picnic.
As the night goes on, Sir Bryant never entirely stops talking. He is sharing 1,000 stories, monster hunts that he has been on, fights that he has had, women that he has loved, and just sharing whatever he can think of. Tales of adventure, tales of war, monsters hunted, people saved, ladies loved and the ones that had loved him back, lords he had served faithfully, other lords that he had brought to justice. And he's just looking at you all. I've missed this. Sharing stories around my table or in the presence of the great knights of the Graal. Yeah, that's all good, but it lacks something of feast among heroes out on the battlefield, doing good for people. These poor fools, and he gestures off, and you all notice, you hadn't really before, the bodies have all been placed on the side of the road in a actually kind of respectful set, their arms crossed, whatever weapons they might have been carrying laid on their chests, and a single simple piece of cloth placed over their faces. Very Avalonian. Early stuff, before they're actually cared for later. And he looks at them and he's like, I guess 6 of them are Vidachin. Those 2 Coronian. Usurin, perhaps, the others. Tell me, Mykolas, what is the proper burial rite for those who die in battle in your country?
Well, depends on the people. If they're Coronian and they are like me, then they are buried in the forest. Simple stone marker. And proper tribute is made to the ones who have come before, the gods of the underworld, and so on.
Mm.
I'm
That
not a
sounds-
priest, but I've done similar in the past.
That sounds comforting. Luckily, the woods are not far off. The Vodachans, typically you all prefer a pyre, yes?
I would say that's traditional. Yes, Umberto.
See,
As for the Usurans, the mother will see to them, if that's what she wishes. Ah, my heroes. So, what are you hunting?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Trouble in the woods. Like a story. Ah, and what a tale it could be. Have any of you ever had chance to come to Avalon, by way? Or anywhere in the Glamour Isles? You should come sometime. It's a peaceful place under the veil of the Graal.
What is the Graal?
The Graal. And Rowan gets a look of, oh God, we're going to be talking about this.
No, yeah. Just kind of, as she would like give a look at Mykolas, like, why?
He leans forward. The Graal, good soldier, was a gift from long ago, and was held for a time by the court of the Sheed, the Seelie. They were amongst the Fae, but they fought with us. They thought that all should be free. And in the face of the Graal, there was once a great quest. As Aelrod, king of Avalon, and his knights went out to find it. And as they fought and as they battled, it was presented to him. And under the Graal, great magic was gifted to all who followed in his service. Many, many great knights, any who would swear the oaths. And they fought, and they adventured. And then for a time, it was lost, gone, like a half-forgotten legend. But then one day, when the armies of Montaigne covered the land, when the people could not rule themselves, when anything a Montagnan wanted, they could just take, it was found by Queen Elaine. And she, and to some extent her vassal, the O'Bannon, when it was raised, the magics of the Montagnan blood witches were cut off as with a knife. Their ability to teleport gone. And without that advantage, and with the good fighting soldiers as knights of the Graal once again rose up, including myself, not to brag, and we were able to drive them back. And freedom. And ever since, under all the lands of the Glamour Isles, the power of the Graal remains. The promise that so long as there remains a king or queen in Carleon that holds to the Graal, and knights of virtue who will take the oaths, the land will be safe and free. Sorry, old man, and I can be taken with it sometimes.
Oh, not at all. It was a good story, and you tell it well.
It's a beautiful thing to see. Sometimes it appears as a golden chalice, others as a simple wooden bowl. It depends. But in the hands of Elaine, oh, Elaine, if you've never seen her, beautiful as a sunset, and the sort of ruler, good, kind, and wise, that any soldier should want to serve. He reaches down and takes a swig from his wineskin. Umberto, as this conversation has been going on, you have started feeling uncomfortable, and you're not quite sure why. Like at first you think, did I eat something bad? But it's not in your stomach. Did you drink too much wine? You're not dizzy. You're just feeling a little out of sorts, like a slight sense of vertigo.
I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the heat of the battle or something. But it's been a day.
Do you need to take a walk?
Um,
It might do you some good to clear your head.
Perhaps. I'll go keep an eye out, see if those ones that got away might be hiding or something. Or
Oh,
maybe bringing more.
if you wish, good lad, there is a rather lovely spring just down that way, a little stream going along, very fresh water. That might help clear you up. And if they are massing or looking to cause trouble, that might be a place where they might be sitting in ambush as well. You'd be more than their equal in a fight.
Grazie. I think I will go do that.
Just
Do you
call
want-
if you need help, Cugino.
Yeah, but Umberto, do you want company?
No, I'll be fine. Stay here just in case something happens.
Okay.
I will let you know. You will trust me. You will hear.
Very good.
So Brian's still telling stories, sharing food. And you will notice as he's doing this, you're never running out of food. There's always more wine to pour from the different bottles. There's always bread and fruit coming from this little horn that he carries with him. Rowan doesn't seem to think this is weird. This is just what it is with him.
I have a notice of 2.
Yeah.
Do I feel a sense of magic?
A definite. I mean, you're aware of the law of conservation of matter, at least some variation of it, and there, unless that cornucopia is bigger on the inside, he's definitely served more fruit from it than it should have been able to carry.
This food is continually fresh. Where do you prepare it?
Oh. Well, I am, again, I don't wish to brag or anything, but I am bearer of the mantle of Duda, one of those great knights and adventurers who served Islerod back in the day, and I now carry some of his gifts, the ability, and whenever a feast is required, such as when brave adventurers as ourselves come together, I am able to make certain accommodation.
Well, we are certainly blessed to be in your presence, sir.
Sweet lady, it is I who am blessed to be in yours. And he would reach out for your hand, and if you would allow him, you would give it
I
a kiss.
will allow.
Hand it back. And he sits back. These gifts, these powers, the stories of Duda, the large, the fat, even according to some stories, and I have occasionally earned such a title. You know, they are part as much as we fight and serve to protect. It is also important to celebrate when it is required. That is my role often in the stories. I will fight along my brothers and sisters in battle, but to make sure that they remember that we must celebrate what we have. That is important as well. Some warriors get too caught up in the chivalry and the sound and the fury of war. Occasionally they need to be reminded that home and hearth are important to celebrate as well. Remember what we fight for, not just what we fight.
I cannot agree more.
I will say it used to be easier to remember. There came a point when the fighting became all that there was.
Then it's time to go home.
Easier
Wherever
to do.
home may be, or whoever home may be.
Home is the company I keep.
Ah, like a turtle then. You carry your home with you.
People who stand beside me. They're my family.
Lenora takes a look over at Mykolas as he's saying all of this, kind of gives a smile and then speaks softly, though I've never been carried.
I believe I could make that happen at some point.
Oh no, it is okay. I don't want to burden you with that, but
Actually, you know what this I am terribly sorry. You know what this meal, this feast, grandiose though it may be, you know what it currently lacks? Decoration.
Oh my god.
It lacks decoration. Rowan,
No.
you saw there was that lovely patch of wildflowers about 50, 100 yards over that way.
Uh-huh.
Take Mykolas with you. Go get a few bouquets, just to liven up the liven up the party. An old man forgot. It happens.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Mykolas, please.
He has a rare smile.
Mhm.
He's usually pretty dour. He's actually kind of allowing himself to enjoy himself here. So he actually has a rare smile when he gets up. Of course.
Thank you.
Umberto. You are walking down by the stream. No sign of the remaining bandits. As you've gotten away from the smoke of the fire, your head clears a little bit in a moment, but then another bigger wave of vertigo comes over you. It's almost enough to make you stumble. What do you do when you're feeling that out of balance?
He would sit and kind of just, oh, what the hell is this?
And then the sound comes from behind you.
And he will immediately leap up and pull his rapier.
Turning around, you see what at first appears to be some sort of dog or hound. But then a cloud moves in the sky and the full moon shines down. And the thing is dripping in blood. It holds up and its jaws open, and it's almost as if it is made of blood, as this weird viscous dripping comes down as it steps towards you. And as you're looking at it, that sense of vertigo suddenly snaps in, as like a guitar string had been vibrating and suddenly goes tight, connecting you to it. And it's like your own blood is boiling inside you. And you felt similar before. When you've traveled to the in-between, this is a creature from the in-between.
This is why I hate dogs.
It crouches low, and you can tell it is about to strike. What is your approach?
He's going to take a step back defensively and wait for it to leap at him and try to just stab it as it flies through the air towards him.
All right, that will be resolve and weaponry. Oh, and as this is a rather scary monster, it has a fear rating of 1. Your dice pool will go down by 1. But you also have flair, so. Three. As it comes out, you are able to slash, and you get a good cut in it. It's and there's a splatter of blood. Like if you got this kind of a splatter when you struck at a man, you would expect you had removed a limb or something, and the blood was gushing out. It is not here. It is just when it moves around, and it's clearly wounded, but it is not down, and it does manage to get a slash in at you. You take 2 minor wounds. As it makes a cut at you and rounds around on you again.
Oh, come on, you sanguine mongrel. You can do better than that.
And suddenly there's a popping noise, and it's not there.
Chicken.
Meanwhile, up at the flower bed, Roan and Mykolas.
Yeah. You know his taste better than I do.
Yeah, I do. And I know that he likes every type of flower. He doesn't really care.
Okay. Well, then I will gather some flowers.
There's just white flowers, white and pink.
White and pink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As she's picking up a few. Mykolas, I have a question.
Okay. What kind of question?
So white flowers. Normally, what does that mean when you give them to other people?
I don't know. I'm not a florist. I would ask a florist, or
I mean, I'm just
or a
asking.
witch. Some of the hedge witches know such things. Not me. White for. Well, it depends. I think the further north you go, the white means death.
Yeah,
The further south, it means purity.
well, where I'm from. These flowers normally mean like in a weird way marriage, and so I'm very, very worried.
Do you think he's trying to marry you?
Wait, why you just assume he? Why you specifically just?
There's a popping noise. And you both looking around, you see what Umberto saw, plus another one. This one, however, has 6 legs
Oh,
that
shit.
it is moving for you. And as it opens its jaw, another smaller jaw inside with fangs that are sort of creeping in around as it starts going towards you both.
We were having a conversation.
I'm going to, Mykolas is just going to, soldier instincts will kick in. And before he even thinks about it, the pistol's in his hand and he fires.
All right. Go ahead and give me your finesse and aim.
Head chopping time.
Did you bring your axe along to pick flowers with?
She keeps that thing on her like
Okay.
like a I was about to make a really bad
Whoa.
comment. Anyway,
And
corny comment.
this also has a fear 1 rating, so 1
Okay.
off of your dice pools.
Oh. Should I re-roll then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brawn and weaponry, and then we have flair. I'm assuming.
This is your first brawn and weaponry, so you have flair, but -1 because of the fear rating.
Also, just regular roll then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me drop. I don't get flare because.
You did this, in the earlier fight.
Yeah. All right. Darn. I had 4 raises there. That was... 2.
2.
All
right.
I rolled very well, and I got 3 10s, so I have a total of 4 raises.
4 raises. All right.
Yeah, the rest of the dice- cool stuff.
Rowan, you are able to hold the normal the 4-legged dog that is, appears to be just moving viscous blood. And you get a good chop on it. It does not manage to hit you because you hit it so hard. And you see as its head splits open down the middle and then starts putting itself back together. It is smaller now, but it is already starting to rean it. Mykolas, you pull out your gun and fire as this thing is biting at you, and the bullet goes through its mouth and out the back of its head, which flops over to the side as it then turns and is still trying to bite you, even with what seems to be a shattered back of its throat. You have done a dramatic wound to it, however, as the two of you are going, and then suddenly they pop and vanish. At the camp, Raphael and Leonora, you are there, and Sir Bryant has started talking about Rowan again, but not the same stories, just talking about what an excellent student she always was and things like that. But then he looks up and he goes, "It is good to see that she is traveling with good companions. I always told her she needed a good group with her. Not that she was in need of extra protection. She could always handle herself, but it's good to have friends."
That is very kind of you to say, sir. And I would argue that she had an excellent teacher.
Very true.
I taught her what I could, but much of it was instinctual to her. She took to the trade like born to it.
Well, she serves you well.
She is as vivacious as she is strong in her convictions. Everything about her is fascinating.
Oh. And then suddenly his head tilts a bit as he hears that. You noticed, huh?
I notice a great deal. Well, I should probably notice more than I should. And he kind of just scratches at the back of his head.
Lenora's going to take this moment to read Sir Bryant.
As you read Sir Bryant, where did I write that down? Did I not write that down? Well, one moment.
This is important information for me.
Sir Bryant, as you read him, his threads seem to glow, almost gold. as he is standing there. And nope, that's too far back. The hero and the sun.
Lovely. Thank you.
And again, yeah, there's just this odd, almost like his threads have been gilded.
Mhm.
And you can see one snaking off in the direction of Roan. And it has a cadence and a vibration to it very consistent with that of a very proud father. And he stands there, but then suddenly his head tilts. We're not alone. 2 arms. And he stands up and he's like, and pulls out a blade, and then you all hear. And approaching from 3 directions are these bloody hounds.
Raphael will immediately push Leonora behind him and stand in front of her and will face off with 1 or 2 of them. He does not care really which.
All
Lenora
right.
doesn't hesitate and kind of sandwiches herself in between the 2.
Mm-hmm. All right. So those approaches then are going to be nothing for Lenora, or is she participating in the fight?
She is going to spend a hero point to activate Sir Bryant's virtue.
All right.
Oh, crap.
Sir Bryant looks young in this moment as the hero is activated inside of him.
I also have 2 lashes now,
Mm-hmm.
just for your note.
And he grins and goes, I've been waiting for this fight a long time. And Raphael, for you, this is going to be your either brawn and finesse and weaponry. Fear rank 1 is in effect, so your
You said brawn or finesse or both?
brawn or finesse and weaponry, whichever one you would use in this particular fight.
Would use finesse because he's got his rapier out. Finesse, weaponry, and you said -1, but since it's with flair, it's just a flat roll. Right?
Yeah, it'll with your flair, it'll even out.
Okay, cool. I got
For 3. For Sir Bryant, either his dice total is going to raise equal to the fear rating of the target.
Yep.
Or, yeah.
He is utterly unafraid of these creatures. Indeed, the fact that they are scary is making him stronger. And he rushes in to fight. He is unarmored, but that is not in any way slowing him down. What were your raises?
3.
3, and for him, holy crap. Okay. The one with 6 limbs leaps towards him, and he is able to make a turn and basically decapitates it with 1 blow. Raphael, you are fighting 2 of them. You had 3. You are able to keep them off of Leonora. However, you are going to take 4 minor wounds as they are around you slashing. You can tell they have been damaged, though. And he is moving around and trying to give you support as well. He is moving like a young man. He is fighting like a young man, and he is not in any way, shape, or form afraid. And he, glaring around at everything, he will whistle, Persepolis! And you all will watch as this ancient old horse charges in, kicking its legs and smashing the skulls of one of the ones that Raphael has been holding at bay. I've read about these, but we're going to need help, assuming they didn't get the others first.
Judging by the wounds that they have already taken, they might have gone but ran. They are trying to find easier targets.
He would yell out, Roan, if you're out there, I could use you now.
sprinting, just without hesitation, hoping Mykolas is following behind. Yeah.
Umberto, you would hear that as well.
Yeah, as soon as he hears that, he will run back towards the rest of them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mykolas is just booking it, like sword out and everything.
Umberto, as you are getting close, you can feel each of them as if they were a mark. Use that as you will. The battle is joined, approaches. You all see there are there's now only one remaining, but it is snarling and it is moving around, and you can see the blood from the one whose head had gotten crushed by the horse moving like flowing oil almost, only it's red, coming towards the one that remains standing.
Head
Leno-
chop.
Oh, there's a head chop.
Head chop.
All right. Brawn and weaponry. Roan?
Okay.
Umberto also head chop? Or what are you doing?
Who is it closest to?
At the moment, it's the closest to Sir Bryant.
Okay. Okay, yeah, he will target that one, and he will come in and just say in Vidachin, I think you're here for me, leave the old man alone.
No obvious response to your words. Are you swinging? Or
Yeah, and he's going to swing down at it.
Okay. Yeah, finesse and weaponry. Fear 1 still in effect for everyone. Raphael.
Raphael will sort of not really flinching so much at the fact that he just took 4 wounds. Like, yeah, it hurts, but he is very much kind of sort of not like brushing it off, as he sort of will run forward and sort of slide in on the opposite side of Umberto and kind of slice up, hoping to remove this thing's ability to
Finesse weaponry.
Leonora is going to, because she's kind of back to back with Raphael before he goes to slide and slash. She's going to push her hands on his back and kind of push him to go as she blesses him, giving him now, I'm taking 1 more lash, so you're going to get 3 more dice to add to your pool.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
And Mykolas, as he's running up, will assess the situation and say, they appear to be more fluid. You should keep your distance and not let them get the advantage of their mobility. He's spending a hero point to activate his virtue, which
Your
gives
virtue you can activate for free. That's not a hero point. Your virtue you get once per.
Okay. He's activating his virtue and doing this by being commanding.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gets a hero point.
All right.
Yeah. Woo.
As this is happening, Raphael, you feel the blessing that Leonora is giving you.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's an odd wrench in your feeling. I'm spending 2 villain points. How many lashes are you at, Leonora?
I'm at 3.
Raphael, anything you rolled 3 or under, you no longer have.
That was mean.
3 or under what?
If you roll a dice 3 or under, you no longer have it. It's as if you never rolled it. It is gone.
Okay, that's
It is not a part of your roll.
okay. That's fine.
So do your math and make sure where your raises are at.
that takes it from 6 to 5.
Okay.
God damn.
And Lenora, you feel that. Like you had given the blessing and they're moving through, but just then Raphael steps weird on a stone and slightly twists. No wounds or anything, but a bit of backlash bad luck, which you've heard of, but this might be the first time she's seen it.
Yeah, she's like, as she's pushing, she kind of like fell to her knees as she's watching this happen.
All right. Let me get so that's 5 raises from Raphael. How many from Roan?
3.
3. So 8. Umberto?
2.
2. All right. We're up to 10. And that's it for everyone. So the moves go down, slashing, and the last creature falls and kind of collapses. And suddenly the blood vanishes with almost a pop. And Umberto falls to his knees in just this overwhelming sense of vertigo.
Oof.
Cugino and Lenora's gonna like crawl over to Umberto to like check in on him.
Raphael's running over.
Sir Bryant does as well.
So does Mykolas. But he's standing up to keep an eye out for any other attackers while they're checking.
Is there a body left?
No.
Damn it! Then she'll go and see if he's all right or whatever.
I guess I'll check
Umberto,
on this.
sorry, Lenora's gonna put her hands, like I'm sure that he's like holding his head. She's gonna put her hands on his hands and be like,
There's an odd sense of static shock. You know, like
"Ooh."
you randomly touch someone, there's a and your hands go back.
Ooh.
I'm gonna read.
You read him. And the lovers and war. As usual. I'm assuming you've read him before.
He's gonna say in Vidachin, I really, really hate dogs.
Responding in Vidachin. So you've seen these dogs?
I need to lie down.
Let us get you over to the blanket, if you'll allow me to, or if I'll help you up. Let's get you over there.
And Raphael will position himself and kind of put Umberto's arm around his shoulders and sort of help in lifting him up to get him over to the blanket so he can actually lay down.
Mykolas, please go get him some wine.
No,
Yes.
no,
Walter?
water, please.
I'll go to the spring.
I will
Hey,
come with you.
No one go alone. For the love of the prophet, do not go alone.
I'm going with Mykolas.
You were able to go to the spring and get some water. And you have water skins to carry, and so it's fresh and clear and clean as you bring it back. And Bryant is sort of standing guard over Umberto at the moment. But you all notice it's looking like age is beginning to catch up with him again as he's starting to get his old kind of slouch back in as he's there. I've never fought bloodhounds before, but I've heard of them. They used to be commonplace in Avalon before the Grawl.
Well, I'm assuming they were just as scary.
Worse sometimes, depending on how long the blushers had been open.
They're never fun. More annoying than anything, but
So, Umberto, that means you have tangled with these creatures before? If that's what I'm getting?
I've come across stories of them.
Can I tell if he's lying?
What's your empathy?
2.
Umberto, what's your hide?
2.
Oh,
All right. We'll make it a risk then. Go ahead. Umberto, panache and hide. And Raphael, wits and empathy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
PvP.
This is the best Raphael's going to get to do at reading anybody.
And because of the heightened atmosphere, I'm spending a villain point. We have moved the threshold of successes to 15.
so mean.
That is 4 for Raphael.
Dang.
4?
Jesus Christ.
No,
Shit.
no. I was saying you said 4.
Yes.
2.
Oh no.
Raphael, he's not telling you the full truth. Well,
Go
ahead.
Raphael will clock it, and he'll look at Umberto and share the briefest look, and then choose not to say anything. But that look, if he's got high enough empathy, means we're going to talk later.
Bryant looks around. If a blusher was open near here, there would have been more than just these. They must be spreading.
Should we expect more?
That is the question.
I'm guessing it is such as these that we were told to hunt. Which means, and he smiles at Rowan, we know our prey.
That is true. Yeah.
And is there a better feeling than knowing your prey?
Yeah.
And he would reach down and he would grab one of the wineskins. To having something to hunt. And reaches and drinks, and then collapses backwards,
Oh shit.
pressing hard into the ground.
Rowan is rushing to him.
And at first you think he's just had too much, or he tripped, or something like that. But as you get close, his whole face has gone gray.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, okay. And she's like visibly panicking at this point. What is wrong? What's hurting? What is the problem? What?
And he's kind of holding at his chest and squeezing it close. Oh.
Lenora's gonna read and see his weave.
You see a cut.
What does that mean?
And the threads moving towards him and an end, apparently. You've often seen this with someone who is dying.
Oh.
Raphael, do you have any hero points left?
I do. I have 2.
Do you try?
Yeah, no, Raphael sort of crawls forward on his knees and just in desperation offers up his prayer. His hands are shaking and he puts it to Sir Brian's chest and spends a hero point to do Miracle Worker again.
You keep the hero point. Healing does nothing. There are no wounds to heal. Just an ancient heart burst from the life it had lived. and a last moment fighting as a young man again. He's looking around and he's like, and he smiles at you, Raphael. Thank you for trying, priest. Roan, are you there, girl?
And she'll like take his hand and be like, I know you didn't come out here just to die. Are you serious?
Do you remember the Geisa, love? The
Of
oath
course.
I taught you as a girl.
Yes, I remember.
Never raise your sword against an ally. Say it.
And like she'll start to cry.
Say it. Never raise your sword against an ally.
Never raise your sword against an ally.
Never abandon a fight before it's through.
Never abandon a fight before it's through.
Never break your word, nor help someone else to break theirs.
And now she's like full on sobbing. Never break your word. And it's just kind of crying, mumbling at that point, but she does finish it and say it.
Never be idle when there's work to be done.
Never be idle when work is to be done.
Never let your passions rule you.
Never let your passions rule you.
Never take something for yourself that belongs to another.
Never take something to yourself that belongs to another.
Always serve the girl.
Always serve the girl.
As you repeat your oaths, his hands tighten on yours, and you watch in surprise as a mantle, such as he had often worn at feasts, suddenly manifests in your hands. The mantle of Duda, the round Knight of Avalon. You can find the way, love. You can serve the Gra. You can hold the oaths. And with that power, nothing that chases could hope to hold you for long, unless you want it to. His hand reaches up to your face, strokes it with ancient fingers, and then giving you that smile that you'd seen over and over again, his eyes close. And with that, we are going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you for Basics of the Game, for hosting and producing for us. Thank you to all of my lovely players for joining. And remember, keep playing games.
Oh.
Bye.